when we left Bayonne, New Jersey, outside New York City this morning, the Hudson was very clear. As we got north of the George Washington Bridge, we started to see some ice, and it got thicker the further north we went. At West Point, it was really pretty rough. And right now we hit an open spot, and we want to show you this barge that's going by, and that's the reason that the Coast Guard is out here clearing paths through the ice, because, as you can see, there are barges and other commercial traffic using the Hudson River. As you mentioned, some 90% of the heating oil in the Northeast is moved on the Hudson River. So that's why they need cutters like this one, the 140-foot Penobscot Bay, to make its way up and down the Hudson and clear those paths for ships like this one. Believe it or not, as cold as it is now, they'll clear a path today, and then by tonight, overnight, it'll freeze over again. And just listen to this. The rumbling that you hear are the large chunks of ice as they hit the hull of this ship, and it's pretty dramatic. Trace?
I'm just curious, Rick, as you're going through that ice, do you feel jolty? Does it feel like it's a smooth ride going through there, or is it rough?
It's smooth until you hit this big stuff right here, and then it's rocking underneath us. And by the way, the entire deck is covered in a sheet of ice right now because the spray from the water gets up here and then it freezes over. It's that cold. This crew on board this Coast Guard cutter will clear 45 miles of ice a day, and then they go, to sleep at night, and the next morning they're back at it again, going up and down the river, basically between Kingston and Albany, to try and keep these lanes clear, Trace. And it's a big job, and they're at it every day for the rest of the winter, most likely.
Give me an idea of the technology on board that icebreaker, Rick.
Well, I found out today they have something called a bubbler system. There's a large engine below our feet that's just dedicated to this system that pumps air under the ship, up under the frozen surface of the water, that sends bubbles in there to reduce the friction on the hull, which makes it easier and more effective for the ship to cut through the ice. We can show you from the sky what it looks like. Last week we had one of our Fox News drones up over this area and this very ship as it made its way through 6 to 8 inches of ice. But this ship can cut through 27-inch blocks of ice if necessary at about a speed of roughly 10 knots or so. And the chief that we spoke with says he spent time on the 65-foot ships, and this 140-footer is much better. Listen.
So on the 65s, we've literally stopped in our tracks. On this boat, it has so much power that we've hit ice that was over a foot thick, and it doesn't even slow it down. It's like almost like a bug on the windshield.
Trace, last winter was so warm, they didn't have to do this once. Obviously a very different story today. And Ben, just show them that it looks like an ice skating rink almost. It's just frozen from all the way from here to the shores. And while there are patches of wide open water, Trace, there are also very large patches of ice like this one.
Yeah, and just the technology on board that ship clearly is amazing, but the fact that you can bring it to us live with that live view technology, it shows you kind of where we're going in television. Rick, great stuff out there. Stay safe. Thank you.